Hello, everybody, and welcome to League Zero Season 3's Advanced Division Playoffs. Today, we're going to have Kingdom Come versus Overcharge. Starting off, I'm Mob Killer with my partner, Sai.
Hello, everyone, and I'm glad to be back again. This has been a really interesting week. Mob. I think we both all got to cast a good amount of games, and I'm looking out of all the games. I'm really looking forward to this one because this particular game right here, Kingdom Come versus Overcharge, has a lot of contention beef for the last couple of weeks. I'm just gonna refresh you guys over to just remind everyone what's the scores like right now. Kingdom Come is currently on a 4th seed and Overcharge on the 5th seed. Literally, the only difference that's really setting them apart is one single win. Kingdom Come currently have 4 wins, 3 losses, with the map win-loss ratio of 13-13, map differential going over to 0. Overcharge, on the other hand, have 3 wins, 4 losses, so one less win, and then a map win-loss ratio of 14-14, which really results in map differential of 0. So this is very interesting. These both teams are like super close. They just literally need one more win to kind of top each other. And this all comes down to this game, the final game of this quarterfinal, and which, if you guys know, is a knockout series. So whoever loses here will be going home. Now, I do want to shine some light on what I was talking about the beef that we have going on for the past 3 weeks of game time. So around week 6, right, we have Epizeuxes versus Kingdom Come. Now, Kingdom Come got rolled by Epizeuxes by three wins and 0 losses, right? Kingdom Come lost pretty dominantly right there. Now, you fast forward to week 7, that's where Kingdom Come plays against Overcharge. And guess what? Kingdom Come ends up winning that entire match with 3 wins and 0 losses. Now, if you just fast forward one more week, which is the last week before playoffs, where Overcharge really needed to step up, and that's the game I actually ended up casting with Mob. That was the game where Overcharge actually beat Epizeuxes with a dominant win for 3 wins and 0 loss. So if you kind of look at it all together, right? First, Kingdom Come loses to Epizeuxes, then Kingdom Come beats Overcharger, but then Overcharge comes back and beats Epizeuxes dominantly. So we're not really sure what's going to go on, but I'm excited to see, Mob, what these two teams bring to the table, because this is a very, this is a contention I want to see. I want to see who wins out of here.
Yeah, it's important to see. I think Overcharge definitely has that end of season fire lit underneath them, and it's going to be up to Kingdom Come here to really put out the fire before it turns into wildfire, if you will. This, I think it can come down to how well Kingdom Come play against Overcharge here. If Overcharge have a chance to go far in these playoffs, if Kingdom Come doesn't shut them down right here, right now. It's all a mental thing. I know all of these players can play exceptional on both teams, but I think the one thing I really want to look at is Blossom. When Blossom's feeling it, can take over a game. And our first map is going to be Lijiang Tower as we're going in.
Ooh, Control Center. Now, this is the haven for all the Junkrat players out here. So if you are a fan of Junkrat, this is definitely a map you will see a lot of it. So keep your eyes on the DPS players of the both teams, actually. Overcharger and Kingdom Come, they could just come out very, very, devastating whoever has the better Junkrat. And look at this ice already hovering over the Junkrat while Raging Cool. Just maybe the Bastion pick, but I'm pretty sure they will not go with it. Now, you were talking about how Blossom could get really out of hand here, and they're playing Symmetra right now. There's so many ways Symmetra could really tackle a team when it comes to these composition, Mob. What are you thinking?
I expect either, from what both teams are running, Ryan Zarya versus Double Shield, it's a big pick. I would be surprised if both of these sims stay on, but is going to be both of them. That is the meta, as we've seen. And going into this first fight, the fire strike comes out, and it's actually going to be Kingdom Come taking the pressure of the first point. But now that Overcharge has been able to wrap around, they have a lot more space with their higher spam with Double Shield. But the ball is coming in, Reinhardt swinging through. JSGK getting so much ult charge, getting across Immortality down for Sev, and it gets melted extremely quick. Sev so low in that backline. Both shields are down right now. Luxy, the on the Orisa, is getting pressured out and falls early to the Lucio spam. Guevara connects onto Pixel. Pixel already having that Ant Matrix Ice with a Tayo, but choosing not to use it as this fight's already really lost for Overcharge.
Yeah, wow, look at that. A very quick fight. I think the what really happened right there was the isolation between Luxie and Zakatar was really the downfall. If you guys were watching, Luxie and Zakatar ended up being, kind of separating right there, which was not really ideal against a very high charge Zarya from Ant. Ant was quite hard charged from all the damage that Ice is putting out. And look at this Riptide could be huge.
Oh, we have an wall coming out from Sim to get the in, but Ice gets picked off by the amplification matrix, excuse me. Probably a right click from Ant, if I had to guess. Do that double damage high charge Zarya, it's deadly. But the double shield persists as the teleporter goes in to try and get people back in the team faster. The tire does come out from Reggie Cool and actually gets destroyed by Sev. Great game awareness there. JCK has the shadow as the bongo and the double wall. The shadow connects and finds Blossom. JCK going on a rampage as Raging Cool also takes on Ice's tire. Both Riptides getting destroyed before they're becoming effective. And I really just don't think this double shield's working.
No, it's not. Looks like Kingdom Come will just know how to play around this double shield, doing all the damage, cycling out their own shields. And look at this, a very interesting rotation coming out, and they're just all going to get grabbed.
Yeah, the grab comes out here, the immortality keeping them alive, but Zakatar finally does fall, and just this Reinhardt able to swing across is so good for Kingdom Come, excuse me. As Overcharged just gets pushed back, and now you're approaching final fight. What do you do here? You don't have any ultimates.
No ultimates at all. They were just burning ultimates just to get through those choke points. It did not matter at all. I think the ultimate discipline coming out from Kingdom Come was crucial right here. Using the Graviton to just lock them all down and blow them up with this Junkrat was amazing. And now look at this. They're kind of stuck in an awkward position. They want to take the point, but really can't approach it.
Yeah, there's ball spinning on point, but the rest of Overcharge have fallen, and it's just going to be Kingdom Come taking a 100-0 control center. I think that just came down to double shield is not going to control center.
Yeah, I think it really depends. Double shield, it's really interesting when you want to talk about metas right now. I think Overwatch is in a very interesting space where it really comes down to map pick at this point. You can't really just go one. There's not a one. Set meta right here, the one composition you could run and just have the upper hand all the time. That's not really how it works. You have to play around and see what you could do depending on the map pick you have. And control center probably not the best idea when everybody's just jumbled up together. Zarya I think was a better choice because of all the damage that's coming out. They could easily protect the Reinhardt, who was Ant at that moment, JCK at that moment, and just soak up all the damage and repel it all back. And now look at this, a very interesting DPS lineup coming out from Overcharged. Let's see if they could do anything with this. Blossom on that Tracer and Ice on that Pharah pick, while Seb is supporting them with the Mercy.
Yeah, Overcharged running the more conventional Sigma ball here, and now we're going to see how it works. Both balls just kind of spinning around the point, and JCK falling extremely low on those tanks. Big pressure coming out, and Ice finds two into the back. That Pharah is so deadly as Ice picks up three. Already 50% on both DPS ultimates. Blossom just getting more ultimate charges that can cast is now up to 70.
Wow, Ice was just, he came so huge right there, getting 4 picks. And I like the little rotation they make. Both Blossom and Ice were trying to set up this little crossfire section where, there was just 2 points of contention with, if you're a JCK and you don't have enough shield power to block them, and look at this, they want to go all in and keep your eyes on Ice.
Ooh, JCK gets melted. JCK gets rocked and is immediately dead before anything can be done. Pixel Master getting pressured onto the Mercy is Raging and Reborn fall. It's just Kingdom Come falling apart. Now it looks like Overcharge is taking control of the series, very dominant.
Yeah, I think like I was talking about, it's just map picks at this point. They probably were not the best in Control Center, but this is where they're really shining. And if they're shining in Guardian, they will surely shine in Market.
Yeah, it seems like they don't really know what they're doing. They haven't planned for this. As the slam comes in for Ant and JCK falling low, the Echo on Sev finds the pick, but Blossom and Lucy clap back, and a pause comes out as Blossom actually DC'd. So with Blossom disconnecting, it makes this initial fight a 2v2. On the side of Kingdom Come, they're down Tank on Winston, Reborn on Soldier, and then Overcharge is down Mercy and Blossom on the Tracer. I think this does favor Overcharge because they have that rally going.
Yeah, and not to mention Luxio also has their minefield available. So if things go south, even if they're about to die, they could just land those minefields out and zone out a lot of that position that we were talking about. Unless Raging Cool gets a really good duplicate and fires something back. I really like what's going on. Even though Blossom unfortunately did DC, they did have a really good stick on Reborn and got that initial pick. That was really good because now you're losing a very core part of your DPS. Echo is a good DPS, but they're not a consistent DPS. They more so work off of cooldowns and bursting their opponent as much as possible. Where, Soldier's more long range, more sustainable DPS that you could do over time, and they also have healing, so they're a menace. So taking down Reborn before disconnecting is actually a huge advantage for the side of Overcharged. And also, just look at all ultimates across the board. If they are losing, they could eventually pop 1 or 2 ultimates. Looks like the odds are coming into the chat, so people are ready to go in, and Blossom will be joining, but not really in the fight.
Raging Cool getting to duplicate onto the Sigma, trying to build with the flexes. Pixel Massive falls, that's so huge. Oh, they only have Lucio to heal. Raging Cool about to have that duplicated flux. It comes out and it is able to connect onto 2, and they fall to the ground, but no kills will be found on it. But it looks like Kingdom Come wants to re-engage. I say that as they kind of back out, they're waiting for 6. Reborn is on the right side and goes in for the slam onto the back. The counter slam is there. The mines come out. The flux finds Ant on the ground. The beat comes the counter. JCK finding Ono Potato as the barrage comes out for Ice, but immediately gets killed by the Echo. The res is attempted, but it gets cancelled as JCK finds Sev with the primal as the res comes out onto Reborn. Reborn able to put a lot of pressure onto this fight. Now he's onto that soldier, and Overcharge are going to lose control, but it is 99-0.
Yeah, 99-0. I think it was a really good call from the side of Kingdom Come to re-engage right there. They knew they had the advantage. They blew some key ultimates right there. And I think from the side of Zakatar, that Flux was a bit too aggressive. They could have waited easily for everybody to come to point, or like even more people to show their faces before using the Flux. It just felt like they were blindly using it. Now the Echo is just abusing this little hallway. They have no ultimate to really go in, but keep an eye on Raging Cool. They're building up another duplicate in this fight.
Yeah, Blossom's deep in the backline. Actually, oh no, recalls off the edge. That's so unfortunate. And then just like that, Overcharge is going to collapse without Blossom in that fight. But I could see it happening. I was watching that as Blossom was in the back trying to fight the Mercy, and Echo blinks across the point, recalls, and actually recalls when they were above the drink.
That just sucks so much. Now, if you're looking at the side of Kingdom Come, they have 2 ultimates ready and 2 key ultimates on top of that. Reborn has their aim lock ready, basically, and Raging Cool also has an Echo ultimate on the board. So this will be a very hard point take from the side of Overcharge. Let's see if they could really overcome this.
Duplicate comes onto Sigma already pretty close, but the duplicate is so close to being canceled as the visor comes out. And if you Overcharge, you just back out. That is what they did use mines, but on the other side, the investment is larger for Kingdom Come. Now you coming back in here as Overcharge. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you could do right now, you have to have an idea that the both support lineup from the side of Kingdom Come have to have their ultimates. You haven't seen Speedy Man use their beat or Pixel Master use their ultimates, Valkyrie. So you have to shut those players down as soon as possible.
Yeah, Blossom trying to zone out this Echo, but had too much support. Sev falls off the map, I believe. Primal comes out from RCK to keep him off the mines, zoning them out. Blossom does fall to Speedy, and the slam comes from Lucy, but immediately gets melted down. The Flux is able to pick up a few and slam them back down and find Speedy. Reborn on the picked up potato, but Overcharge is clutching. Zakatar and Ice. Zakatar being so big on the Sigma, falling low, doesn't have any more utility. The beam melting them down. Ice with the flashbang. Ice does fall, but Blossom has come back. It's a 1v1. Blossom versus Ant on the Wrecking Ball. Luke is the Wrecking Ball comes back in. The Lucio is recontest, and we have yet another pause.
Oh no!
I didn't see.
Rooksy just come in. Did you see that? That was so funny. Ant was just trying to pendulum around, and Luxy just comes in and rolls them over. But looks like there is a very weird pause in mid-fight. I don't think there is a disconnect. I'm pretty sure there's not a disconnect at this point. It was just
We
a
had Ravioli, which is a member of Overcharge, calling for a pause. So apparently someone's keyboard is dead, and we have a ready coming out from Overcharge, waiting for Kingdom Comes ready. This is very intense. Lucio's on the point. JCK's Winston is ready to jump through the window, and you have Blossom and Lexi on the point. If
yeah.
Ice has the high noon, but I think he needs a switch. The high noon's going to be big, but it's going to take so long to get back.
That is true.
Now,
You want to be more on the offensive side and have a lot of utility. I think if they could pick up a quick little echo right there, this could be really good because they could make it to the point quite fast. Now, I think Sev is also by I can't really see it, but I believe Sev is also by the spawn. They were knocked out beforehand, so Sev should be able to join Luxie and Blossom on the point quite fairly shortly. So, and if you're looking at Ono Potato, just made a switch to a Moira, so that's a lot of survivability. Both picks,
made the same switch.
yeah, same switch. So they are looking to really ride this overtime out as soon as possible. It really comes down to whoever gets these picks as fast as possible. Now you do have Luxie and Blossom ready on the point, and I believe Blossom is already trying to shoot Speedy Man. So
yeah, she is. Tracer, not Blossom, is shooting Speedy. Right here, it's really almost exactly even. JCK versus Luxie on the tank, Blossom versus Reborn on the DPS, Sev versus Speedy on the Lucio, and Pixel versus Ono Potato on the Moira. This is a very close overtime, 99-99. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I believe the readies did come out.
Ready from Overcharge, but JCK is having issues on Discord. It is currently being restarted.
Okay. So it looks like Speedy Man was having some issues with Discord too. I'm not really sure. I'm looking at I'm looking at the chat right now. I think Discord is bugging out for the Kingdom Come right now. So it looks like a restart coming in. Not really sure. We should be getting back to the game soon enough. There is a 5 minutes timer. So once that 5 minutes gets done, that's it. Let's see if they're talking about Discord not working for anybody, actually, looks like, from the side of Kingdom Come. So that could be a very crucial issue when you need comms to really play out the game.
A backup could be using in-game team chat.
I think that would be a really good idea at this point. And looks like we're still waiting on these players. And I think if they could just make the switch over to Discord chat as soon as possible, that will be the best move at this point. But this is a critical stage right now. So you don't really want to, take a chance of just going over to Discord, taking the time to swap over, because when it comes to overtime like this, key targets, focusing targets is a crucial part of the game. So if you kind of lose your momentum or lose your communication at this point, this is not really good. So it looks like the game chat option is coming through for the side of Kingdom Come. I don't know why they're having Discord issues right now, because all the teams are using the same server to play in. So this is very interesting. But other than
individual clients, not the
most likely, but a lot of more than one people are complaining. I believe Speedy Man, JCK, and Raging Cool were having the same trouble. So interesting enough.
I think one big difference we'll see here, I mean, the supports and tanks kind of even each other out on the picks. You're not going to really see a Moira kind of pop off and get a 6k even with perfect aim. But I think the real difference here is going to be how is Reborn versus Blossom in these overtime situations. The pressure is on. And this pause almost even just tearing the fiber of the pressure, making the cracks start to appear. You gotta not let your mental relax. This is stress 101.
That definitely is. And if you're looking, if you guys are paying attention to the UIs right now, you could see that literally Raging Cool and Ice are on literally the same timer at this point, respawn timer. So they will be respawning at the exact same time. They should be able to reach it, but obviously Raging Cool being on that Echo should be able to reach the point much faster than Ice on that McCree.
We're ready for Raging Cool. That
Ooh,
means Kingdom Come is ready. We're waiting for Overcharged. We're ready to get back into this.
Yep.
I feel like this is going to be a long one. So
yeah, this is going to be a long one. Get ready, mob.
3 seconds back in it, and Speedy on this Lucio boops them away. Blossom just blinking across Zector, switching over to the Diva on the back line. JCK back on the point now. Reborn on the back, trying to build toward that Vital as Pixel Master comes back onto the Moira. The Doomfist for Ice is almost back as well. Blossom building up to the Pulse Bomb, no kills coming out, and Ice, Blossom finding 2, it's huge, the supports for Kingdom Come are gone, Reborn finds the visor, but it's not good enough, the duplicate comes onto the ball, there's 2 balls on the point for Kingdom Come, something to be said there, as the double spin is coming across, Raging Cool has the mines, but it gets cancelled before the mines really come out, Luxie knocks Ant into the mines, it's just Raging Cool onto the point, but Speedy comes back on the Lucio, but it's just Overcharged taking control, the supports do come back, the Ice finds Raging on the punch. It's just the supports. JCK building up towards the Primal. I don't know if he can survive long enough. The mech comes back for Zakator. Lucy Moira. Both Moira's dead for both sides. Luxie finding 2. And with 2! It's huge! Are you kidding me? This is turning. The Primal comes up for JCK. And finding 2 with Lord Grapple. Make it 3! Blossom dying to JC. And knocked out of the mech. Ice coming back onto the Doomfist. And finding yet another Grapple kill. That makes it 4. JCK kill.
Oh my god. What just happened there? What just happened there?
It was too intense.
That was intense, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this play of the game coming out from Zekatar. I think they did a very phenomenal job on that Sigma right here. A beautiful flux coming out, turning it around. Basically, at that point, they were about to lose it. Getting that slam on 4 people and then following it up with 2 major kills, Reborn and Pixel Master. But unfortunately, they could not finish that series off. What was that? Ant just went crazy at the end, getting 2 kills with their drive pile basic. And I was going to say Ice made a very good choice getting onto the Doomfist. Doomfist is a very good clutch hero. You could easily pick it up and do a lot of damage at single burst, and even get unexpected kills. Not even just displacing people and slamming them into walls is a very, very efficient way of dismembering a team. But it was not enough. They got killed, and right before that, Ant was able to get 2 kills, not 2, even 3 kills, with just spinning around the point. And then on top of that, JCK was able to build their Primal Rage. I think that was really the end of the deal right there. I know Ice tried to come back and make something happen. It just was not enough. So again, Kingdom Come, great stuff for clutching it, because it looked so close. Overcharged had it in the bag, but Ant definitely coming on top and just swinging the ties around. This has to be super upsetting if you're Overcharged right now. I think the best thing to do for Overcharged is to just reset their mental, going to the next game. The next map will be their map pick. So, there goes that. They should have a chance of winning that. Just reset your mental, go to the next map, go in with a very fresh mindset and try something new. I think the double shield didn't really work out at the beginning. They were also playing it quite awkwardly in a way. Maybe the Junkrat with the double shield was just not the best call for their control center, Lijiang Tower, but they did look quite strong on that Pharah. Ice Pharah was just very strong. Now my question is, if they pick Rialto, which is not the next map will be a hybrid map, but on a payload map, they could easily pick Rialto and do a lot of damage with the Ice Pharah, because that was just phenomenal. But at the same time, you have to be quite aware of Reborn's. Yeah, you have to be quite flexible, and you have to be quite aware of Reborn soldier, because they were playing a hit scan. So Pharah could get shut down quite easily with double hit scan, and Rialto is very famous for that. We've seen some phenomenal double sniper composition, double hit scan composition on Rialto. So it's really a 50-50 when it comes to that. But I want to see if Ice could do anything on this upcoming match. I think they'll go with King's Row, and if they go King's Row, they have to play something other than double shield, because guess what? Ant and JCK just look too comfortable on the Ryan Zarya, and they're able to to, really outrun them and just beat them in brawls. So from what we've seen so far, so they have to play something different. They have to get that Reinhardt and this, mentality of having a Reinhardt and Zarya on the opposing team, and maybe just, go after that. Oh, looks like they will be going for Hollywood, so maybe they will just stick to this double shield and play high ground.
Yeah, Hollywood, probably one of, if not the best double shield map, putting Kingdom Come out of their comfort zone, if you will. Overcharged showing that they really want to play that double shield, and they do have a lot of the good players to do it. But one thing I'd like to mention is Raging Cool putting a very competent Echo on that Legion Garden, and Echo is very prevalent, as we saw on Friday, as I saw on Friday, with in a intermediate match that a double shielded composition with Echo is very powerful, especially on Hollywood. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure you don't let Raging Cool run wild on Echo.
Yeah, Raging Cool looked quite comfortable in the Echo. They were just jumping on it as much as they can. So interesting. I haven't seen much from the side of Blossom and Ice. Mostly, they do like to play a couple of heroes. Like Blossom's Tracer was phenomenal the last map of Legion Tower Garden, and Ice Pharaoh was also, like I keep saying, is really good. So maybe they will try something different, or try to even shut down that Echo from the McCree, because Ice did pop up at the very end with that McCree too. So interesting. It will be interesting to see what they decide to go. I think the DPS lineup will really shape the game coming in, because the support lineup is really good. Speedy Man has been on fire on the Lucio, and Ono Potato has been doing pretty great. But it's really comes down to these DPS players, that how they play around these different metas, the double shield metas, the ball feet meta. You have to shut down the ball. You have to have some form of CC at the same time. Be aware how to take down the opponent team's backline. So there's just a lot of weight is on these DPS players. Yes, their tank could make all the space, but if they don't utilize it, it's just so useless at the end of the day. They can't really push without killing and getting those kills. So Raging Cool and Reborn has been doing a phenomenal job. Nothing really too spectacular, nothing too much flashy, but they're doing the job they need to do. They're getting those initial pick. They're doing those burst damages. So I want to see more initiative coming out from the side of Blossom and Ice, more from the side of Overcharged. Like if they get a pick, they need to go in all there. Just take the advantage into their own hand and mold it to make it a game. Looks like all the R's are coming out in the chat, so we will be getting into the game shortly.
Yeah, I know Blossom Knights do have that explosive potential, and we did see it in Week 8, and I want to see it more. They need to get on their game. And we do have... I do think Double Shield is going to want to come down here. If Kingdom Come try to force a Reinhardt comp, I think it's kind of just going to get pestled out. I know Sev and Potato are very comfortable on those double shield supports, so it's going to be unfortunate if they run it through. Kingdom Come going to try to run through with the Reinhardt comp if they don't run double shield, and I just don't think that shield of Reinhardt's is going to last for long enough.
Yeah, that's interesting said, Mob. One thing is for sure, I do know personally, that Overcharged does have a potent Ryan player. One of their tank players who's currently benched at the moment, Iromi, is a pretty good Ryan player. So I'm interested to see how they haven't really messed around with this Ryan Zarya composition, or even Ryan Winston. I was casting Expert yesterday, and there was a one map, Busan. I've seen they ran Ryan Winston and actually made it work. So it's pretty interesting. You could do a lot of things. So I think Overcharged definitely do have the flexibility to run Ryan there if they make some changes. But like you said, both teams will be running the double shield, and we're seeing a weird hit scan / sniper, a lot of zoning DPS coming out from the side of Kingdom Come. So I don't know how well Blossom will be able to do on this Echo if they could get away from Ice.
It's a compositional style. They're running the Brig, and that means they want the Echo. This isn't for the standard double shield stacking 6-on-6. This is for melting those shields and taking alternate angles and trying to get close. And then they do a double shield brawl. Watch this 5-volt volley coming to his left. He gets immediately melted. The dangers of the Discord.
Yeah, you have a Hanzo on the other side with a Discord Orb and a McCree. If those shots land at the same time, even a very healthy Orisa like a Luxie will get popped like immediately, and that's what happened. Everything landed at once, and they just got decimated. So they have to be careful right now. They do get scouted out, so they know they're coming right there.
Oh,
Oh my
another
God.
melt. The Discord is too powerful. And see, this rotation is just possible. The Sigma does get knocked down, and so Kingdom Come will actually drop, but it's without the Orisa, that double shield, or single shield, I guess, with Zakatar's Sigma is not going to hold. In the match of Capitalism versus Obligation, we did see Capitalism holding the exact position that Kingdom Come were, and the answer was to rotate through Mega. But now they have the high ground for Overcharge, and so Kingdom Come kind of mess up the positioning. They're playing on top. That Discord is going to give them the long range advantage. If you're Overcharge, you have to drop down the point here, go through the bottom staircase, and play for the brawl. JCK is going to get a little isolated, gets stunned, and falls. Oh no, Potato finding Ice coming out with a headshot onto Raging Cool, and now it's going to be Overcharge taking control. Kingdom Come is forced to back out as Iant falls to Ice's headshot. Reborn getting a nice pick, but nothing really can be done on the own.
Yeah, Ice picking up 3 kills right there. There's some very good headshots, 2 headshots and 1 flashbang kill. I think, like you were talking about, the rotation was the biggest point, or the vital thing that really won Overcharge over that point right there. They were able to rotate all the way around, go to the bottom, and get those opening pick from Ono Potato. So now this is just a long range game. Keep an eye out on their Speedy Man though. Their Zenyatta is so important right now. They're making sure the Discord orb is always
the Amp High Noon. The Amp High Noon, the Immortality does save a few members of Overcharge, and they're getting pressured out, but not enough to really find any kills. I say that as Sev, JCK on the alternate ankle, finding huge, and I think this was completely due to inactivity from Overcharge. Overcharge has looked the best when they're proactive, and after capping that point, with this double shield comp, you have to have everyone except for one person rush to that high ground. If you lose high ground control, it's so hard to push, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, and that's why they kind of lost that touch right there. Because they didn't have any high ground priority, JCK was able to rotate all the way behind while staying high ground. And I thought they were just going to land a big flux, but they didn't even need to do that. They just used their primary fire to take down 2 people. Now, look at Zakatar. They're not making the same mistake. They're going up high ground as soon as possible.
A huge flux into the background, forcing the trans. The High Noon comes out, finding Reborn. The trans was able to tank a few, and the rock canceled JCK's flux. Now it's Zakator's on the cart, pushing it. But this long-range battle is lost because they don't have the Zen. They have the Brig. Zakator trying to just push the cart. Speedy getting found out and does end up dying. JCK trying to be the one-man stand, but backs up with his Orisa. The Invocation Matrix comes out, Immortality to keep them alive, but so much damage comes out from these bullets, it's so hard to hide. Reborn, then now the Invocation Matrix on the other side, but it's a little bit poorly positioned. Ant does find Luxie through it though, as the Dragons comes out onto cart. Sev finding above it, Blossom, Zakator finding picks. This looks like it's playing Overcharge, and Overcharge will be able to cap B with 4 minutes remaining.
You know, it looked kind of scary at for a little bit right there, because
nice
Raging Cool were all the way at the back on top of Saloon, just raining down damage, but nothing really coming out on top of it. Not any major headshots were landed right there on any key targets. So it really went on Veil. Even though the Dragon came out, it was just timed poorly, because guess what? The PSF had their Immortality field ready, and now you have 4 ultimates on the side of Overcharge, where basically none when it comes down to Kingdom Come. Right here, we might be seeing a High Noon from Ice just to zone people out, while Blossom tries to do a duplicate.
Big pole, got all 6 together, pops the bongos, the rally coming out, and it's a lot of damage for the side of Overcharge, not much and now this duplicate comes out onto a Sigma, finding 2, 3, Overcharge pulling ahead, definitely the Flux pulling up the Orisa as it falls back down with the Fortify, the High Noon from Ice to secure it, and 3 minutes approximately on the clock. Now, I want to talk about Raging Cool here, because they've chosen the Zen style, which is that long range, I don't want to get close. I feel like Echo looks better into that because of sticky bombs and shield pressure.
Yeah, and using that sticky bomb and shield pressure, right? You could just do so much damage and so much damage in a very short amount of time. Let's say there's a double shield composition, right? And your Zenyatta, who's at that moment Speedy Man, gets a very crucial disc or on Luxie, who's the Orisa opponent Orisa. You could be Echo, just fly on top, right? Just hover on top of them, land all the sticky bombs, do a immense amount of damage, and just run out from there, or even laser them down. Where
It's
Hanzo, you're kind of limited though. You're just shooting at a shield, even though they have a Discord right in front of them.
it's really comparing the value. I mean, Hanzo at its peak, I think, would be better than the Echo, but that would be assuming you play perfectly. I
Exactly.
believe, I don't know if the calculations are correct, but I think a Discord headshot onto someone like Sigma would one shot. Um, I don't know if Orisa including armor. It's hard to calculate for that, but it would do a lot of damage. That's the important thing. But I think Echo's consistent damage value is more important. Plus, I believe a volley of sticky grenades onto a 200 health target will kill with Discord. So it's like
Oh, easily.
Echo has a lot of consistent value.
Yeah, and if you're playing Hanzo with this McCree setup, you have to both DPS have to be on the same target for them to be bursted down. And look at this; they're still staying on this Hanzo. Maybe they want to keep playing it to get any type of value. Not much. Both shields are actually broken at the time being. Oh, that's a huge grenade coming out from the side of Reborn. They'll get a lot of ultimate charge just to start things off.
Yeah, now Overcharged forced to play split, but Kingdom Come being a little hesitant to take all this room that Overcharged is giving them, and now they will take it. Going on to this high ground, Zacto has to run before they get picked off. Pixel Master falling very low. Implication Matrix is about to be ready, Seb lacking a little bit behind, and this could be the difference. If this is a big window, and it's about to come out, and it does, now all of Overcharged back up, the pull brings them back in, but the Immortality saves them, and now that Matrix was useless. Other than building some ultimates, didn't get any value. Kingdom Come do have the high ground. Overcharge not able to take it back, but
Oh,
and
look
now
at
Kingdom
that
Come
window.
is dropping. But the window having coming up, and after getting rocked, JCK almost dies, but is able to come back. And now this a little bit isolation on left. This Speedy does fall. This Raging Fool's Hanzo just stuck on left side. They see it. Bob comes in onto point, but it's so hard to shoot through these shields. Dynamite connects with a lot as Bob is immediately melted. The Dragon's coming through. Luxie taking damage because the Fortify was able to get out. The Flux
Big
connects.
Flux.
It gets canceled. JCK not getting a nice rock onto Zagator as Blossom does fall by Raging Fool. It looks like Kingdom Come is clutching it back. Another Matrix coming and another Flux knocking them down as Kingdom Come are going to cap A.
Overcharge had the upper hand for the time being. They could have ended it. They took down the opposing Zenyatta. They had to get the confirming kill, and literally no kills were coming out. We had a chance where there were a window available. There was everything available to them, but not a single kill came through. That's why, if you leave your opponent, especially like Kingdom Come, alive for so long, they'll build these ultimates up super fast. And look at this, another aggressive fight. Aggressive fight.
Now, I think they are going to make the same mistake as they did as Capitalism, I believe, did. Oh, I believe they're not going to, as two picks come out onto the side of Overcharged. We do have a pause coming out from Ono, Potato, and Zacratar. As what Kingdom Come were making a very bad mistake against an Echo composition, which is 5-man pushing, leaving the Xenon cart. Not only are you losing a lot of value because of that Zenyatta not able to pull out damage, any competent Echo can 1v1 that Zenyatta and probably win with just like sticky bombs and focusing beam. And then not only are they down a person, no one's going to be pushing cart. But because of those key picks from Pixel and Raging Cool, they didn't have to face that reality.
Yeah, looks like there's some more complication coming out from the side of Overcharged and Sev's keyboard.
Sev pause.
Yep, Sev's keyboard looks like it's messing up again. So maybe we'll see something go down when the pause gets lifted. But this is pretty much a free push at this point. Yeah, this is pretty much a free push at this point. Zakatar will be getting killed, and like you said, it was a mistake, but I don't think Overcharge were at a very optimal position to take advantage of that. They did not rush the high ground advantage at all. They were just trying to take a fight in the little alley, and popping the amplification matrix there was not the brightest idea, because guess what? It's a small place, and Kingdom Come just could say, okay, we'll just back out and push the card, let your ultimate get wasted, and the timer gets run out. So I don't think that was the biggest, like, that was not the best play possible right there. You should have just, yeah, and Blossom on Genji, that should be very interesting. But they should have just went up high ground as soon as possible and then use the window to shoot
comes
down.
Out. The Dragons in trans comes out for the side of Overcharged. Seb kind of walking back into the Dragons. Raging Cool popping off and finding 3 in the fight. And Blossom Genji does end up killing Raging, but Ants cleaning up the last 2. And Overcharged are going to take B with, I believe it's going to be 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. Even though Overcharged did have a very good time bank on their side, but it doesn't really matter. Now they have to hold this point for at least 3 minutes to kind of burn down the clock and get the advantage.
Yeah, don't underestimate. JCK does kill Unknown Potato. The Bob comes out from Reborn to try and push the advantage, but Blossom does finally kill, evening it out. It's 5v5. Speedy getting pressured, but Ashley is healed up. JCK finds Sev, Blossom falling as well. And now, don't underestimate. On Friday, I watched Obligation hold Capitalism for 5 minutes on this last point. So I am not counting Overcharged out yet. I mean,
definitely not. They have the capability. It just looks like they are not on the same page. They look so desynced every time they're trying to fight. Look at this. A beautiful pull comes out, and a Flux.
And a High Noon, but the Immortality did able to save all of them. And no one's playing behind the window. The Flux comes out from JCK, and they find 2 into the back, and it's not going to be able to be canceled, but they are kept alive. Blossom, with the blade ready, is discorded, trying to get healed up. It just seems a little bit clanky for Overcharged. And the big rock coming up from Zykotor. Blossom has the blade comes out, no Immortality Field is available, but Blossom isn't able to find a target. I say that as he finds 2. Blossom discorded, dies to JCK, but it's done enough as Overcharged are going to be able to push the advantage. Speedy dies on cart, and now the ultimate has pendulum has swinged in the other direction.
It did, but at the same time, at this point, Kingdom Come are kind of on top. It doesn't matter. Look at this. Raging Core already has a dragon ready on, and will be having their bongo soon. So that's a lot of damage coming out. Speedy also is looking for that transcendence on the side. Now, Seb needs to land a good window right here, so everybody could shoot through it and get the most. And just as I say it, Ice just deletes Ant.
Ice huge, JCK gonna fall right after, and that's just another fight win. And now that 4.5 minutes turned into 2.
Yeah, they already lost their time bank advantage. Look at this, 2 minutes and 19 going down, where Overcharge have 2 minutes and 55 seconds on their clock. So if Overcharge could hold this down, maybe even potentially bait out Speedy Man's Transcendence right here, Ice and Blossom will get a lot of value. So I think Seb's window here has to kind of bait out the Transcendence.
The window comes out, and we have a Dragons in trans coming out. Raging Cool finding Sev dying to the again, and now Blossom trying to reflect, but it gets pulled back in. Blanco's coming up from both sides. Bob getting thrown into the background. Now it's just Lucy and Ono Potato both dying. The rally also invested right before Ice dying with the High Noon, and now the Flux from Zykotor is going to come out, but I don't know if there's enough to be done, and the Rock isn't able to cancel it, but his death will. Blossom blading into the back and immediately dies. The Flux not finding anything for us, JCK, but they don't really need it. The Lexi is back onto the ball, immediately falls. Zykotor switching over to the Diva, Ono Potato falling on Lucio, and Kingdom Come are going to cap, but with a significantly smaller time bank.
Significantly smaller indeed, but still capping the point. I think Overcharge definitely had the potential right there to hold them basically hold them for much less time. But I think the fights that Overcharge are taking at this point are not the most optimal fight they could take. If they are all tracking, they should know that you have Raging Core on Hanzo. Hanzo builds the ultimate significantly fast, especially with the storm arrows that they're dishing out. So you should know that they have a dragon ready. You don't want everybody, everybody from the side of Overcharged, you don't want to go in a very small area, very small narrow path, and just line up for Dragon from Raging Cool, because guess what? They throw it out, it baits out the immortality field, and then Sev dies again to the Dragon for the second time. That's one healer down, a huge part of the heals, because Ono Potato can't really heal a lot with Brigitte. It all comes down to Sev. So Sev dying in that fight and baiting out immortality field early just like leaves the team open for them to just press that go button and delete people as soon as possible from the side of Overcharge. So I think the fights they Overcharge are taking and could have been much better, and the outcomes could have been a much better result right here. But look at this, 1 minute and 15 seconds. By the time they go to the point, it will already be only 60 seconds left. They have to take this point quite fast. I'm thinking about a shield break from both sides and just getting an opening pick. That'll be optimal from the side of Kingdom Come.
Big picky bombs. Blossom, but Zakator does get melted down by a halt, and Speedy hitting, I believe, a 5 orb. Now Ice getting kind of zoned out, and the point control is going on to Kingdom Come. It's up to Overcharge to recontest this. Big Dynamite coming up from Reborn. Blossom trying to build up towards Duplicate, but not able to get too much value as the shield is blocking. One tick's given over. This will not end in the draw. Make it 2. They know how to play their advantage. Luxy does step onto point, and the Reborn finding Blossom, but Pixel falling. There's so much healing gone as the Amplification Matrix comes out. Ono Potato trying to clutch it back, and they will do it. Speedy in the back, not able to get anything done. 20 seconds left on the clock, and JCK does have the Flux coming up.
Yeah, that was quite a delayed kill on Speedy. Now they have to touch the point by 13-12. They did swap over to the ball, but that means they don't have a lot of shield coming in. So if Ice could just stun him right there. Oh no!
The touch is able to come out, and the shield bash missed, but Ant is getting stunned up and melted. Now the one player down. JCK has the Flux, and it comes out. It finds the Orisa, and it lands on the ground, but the damage will be healed up. The Bob coming out, the Amplification Matrix. Speedy does kill Luxy. Speedy popping off. Ice trying to clutch it back. It can go either way. Blossom on the Tracers falling so low. Zakator ends up falling. Blossom trying to pull the best, but the Bob is pressuring too much as Blossom does fall, and Kingdom Come will cap A.
Those stuns needed to land on ball right there. They should have known. You have 15 seconds left, right? You are expecting a touch from a ball. That's literally the only person that could get to the point that fast. So they should have been looking out. Ice and both Ono Potato should have been on the lookout for Ant on that ball, and those stuns needed to land. If they just landed any of the stuns, any flashbang or shield bash, that could have been prevented the entire fight. That would have timed it out.
Yeah, but it's going to take a miracle for Kingdom Come to continue this push against a 6 ultimate deficit. The Flux comes out, the Trans in concession. Boom, Blossom dies to their own pulse bomb, but Ice finds 2 with the high noon. The man advantage still goes to Overcharge, and the rally comes out. Pixel Master falls, and the rest of the team will follow. A miracle was almost given to them, but they threw it away as Overcharge will hold them right in front of A.
Yeah, that was a lot of ultimates built up from Overcharge, and at that point you just press all Qs and something will hit and you will get a ultimate right here. Now this is the thing though, they have 2 minutes and 55 seconds. That's 3 minutes. If you play this right, you could eventually build up at least 2 to 3 ultimates just before the fight even starts. So I think if Overcharge don't rush this too much, just play the poke game and get as much as damage possible. The Seth could easily heal up their teammates and get their window before Pixel Master couldn't get their window, because guess what? You're attacking, the defenders have a high ground advantage, you'll be taking more damage. So if they could build out Seb's window before Pixel Master and just push with that, have a good window set up and do a lot of damage through it, they could easily take this point before the timer runs out. They want to do it as fast as possible, because guess what? Not only they have to take the point, they have to push it somewhat further. So I think if Ice and Blossom land their shots right here, Blossom gets a good sticky on either Speedy Man or even Reborn. This could be an easy fight win from the side of Overcharge, but you have to be careful, because look at this. Raging Cool is bringing out the special pocket pick, that Torbjorn, setting up that infamous crossfire with using his turret.
Surprisingly, I did see Torbjorn in the Obligation Capitalism match. So this is a very continuation. Seems Hollywood themes are coming out. Now here's this initial push. This is what matters. Zakator pops that E in the huge dynamite for Reborn as Blossom falls to the 12 turret. And the Immortality trying to keep them going. They do move on to point, hopefully grabbing a tick. The pull does bring them back, and there's a little bit of isolation if they turn around, but Raging Cool on the Torbjorn is popular. But there's finding kills back, Raging Cool finding Ice. It could go either way. Zakator killing Ant. Just Zakator against the world finding Raging Cool. It's a 2v1. The Echo on for Blossom is coming back. Zakator falls so low. The Blossom's Echo is there and not square. JCK on the Sigma. They switch to the ball to try and come back and clutch. Reborn there and dead, and Luxy on back onto the ball. Sev finding JCK. Are you kidding me? Overcharge? You pull that off?
How?
There is a weekend toss coming in. 4 players for the side of Kingdom Come. The ball disrupting them as Ant steps onto the with the Orisa. The Fortify already down, but Speedy pushing on the wrong side. Ant down. Sev. Immortality field is destroyed as Zakator finds more Blossom back onto the pocket pick of Genji. It seems like the battle of pocket picks here, and Overcharge will be capping in with a minute and a half left.
What was Speedy doing right there? They were so overextended, and look at this now. The Reborn is also overextended. This could be very bad if Overcharge get a opening pick right here. Blossom is looking quite confident on his Genji. They're at the high ground trying to chip out as much as possible. Look at this. Sev has their window ready. Ice has their ultimate coming out. Not a single ultimate other than Pixel Master's Amplification Matrix from the side of Kingdom Come. So this will be an explosive fight.
The window comes out. Luxy getting pressured in the back and does fall. The Matrix coming out from the other side, but it's a huge flux from the other side. This needs to not be canceled, and it's not, but nothing's fallen. The Ice's High Noon gets canceled. Oh no, Potato on the rally. Blossom in the backline trying to find something. Blossom does pick up 2, keep dashing through. The Reflect is there, but the Blade is ready. The Trans is there to counter it, though. It's not looking good for Overcharge.
It's not. That should have been a fight for Overcharge. What happened
4
there?
Ultimates.
4 ultimates gone, just like that.
3.
Oh.
Luxy onto the ball, kind of slimy too. I don't know. It's not getting a lot done. The mines does come out. Raging Cool kind of isolated into the mines. Blossom finding 2 with the dash. It shoots the Trans, not enough to keep them at bay. The Trans does expire as Speedy does fall, and it's going to be Overcharge taking map 2.
Blossom coming out huge right there, getting those dashes to confirm the kills, making it a 3K, I believe. 2 dashes and 1 blade right here, and looks like we will be getting the play of the game from the pocket pick, Genji from Blossom right here. Look at this beautiful mine actually laid out by Luxy, getting everybody low so they could get the dash resets and get all the kills right here. Ooh, look at that. The Immortality Field did delay it. There was a lot of things to deny this Genji Blade. The Immortality Field, the Transcendence from Speedy, but it didn't really matter. Luxy laid out all the mines. They did a lot of damage coming in, and just like that, Overcharge will be taking map 2. Now, looks like a swap might just come out. Somebody is getting moved in the lobby, but that was a very good map. If you're talking about Overcharge, I think they did fantastic. There were a lot of mishaps that happened. I think if Overcharge were to really tie those little knots in and fill in the gaps, they could definitely be quite a strong team. They have the lineup for it. There were times where Kingdom Come were able to just capitalize on a bunch of mistakes that Overcharge were doing. So I think if you are Overcharged, you're happy with this map win, but not satisfied. You should not be satisfied. There's a lot to be done going forward, and you should really focus on that. This is another time where, like, okay, we equalized the scoreboard. This is the time we really have to think and see what we're doing wrong. The positioning were much better. We talked about how Blossom and Ice need to pop off and show that explosiveness that they have, and they definitely displayed it. Blossom coming in clutch multiple times, and they were able to do it. Now, it really has to come down to this double shield meta where they have to know how to play around this weird spammy composition that Kingdom Come likes to play. They like to swap off to that. Reborn likes to play that Hanzo. They like to play that Soldier. A lot of consistent spam damage coming out. So if they could do that, that'll be beautiful, beautiful reset. And a good comeback story from the side of Overcharged, but on the side of on the other side, Kingdom Come, they've been doing a fantastic job. We've seen so many clutches from Ant and JCK. Like these two names keep popping up. Ant and JCK has been literally on fire. Not to mention, Speedy Mans was doing an absolute fantastic job in that Zen, landing the Discord orb and getting the follow up shots to really put their DPS Reborn and Raging Coal up for success. But there were some mistakes. The really last fight right there, where they were fighting for that the last point. Speedy Man, I don't know what happened. They were Zen. They probably thought they were Lucio or something. They wanted to touch the point and got blown off right away. So both teams need a lot of cleanup to do. But if they do that, I think this will be a very good game. And as the series is going on, I'm seeing the line between two teams get thinner and thinner. They are seeming like they are getting a hang of what they want to do and what they want to accomplish right here.
Yeah, it's very exciting to see these teams going 1-1 into map 3. Definitely competing. I didn't expect this to be a role for either team, but Overcharged having some issues in the start, but I think now that fire has relit underneath them and they're ready to play. Going forward, it's really going to come down to Kingdom Come's MacBook here. I believe it is payload and then 2CP. So we could see. I think Rialto would not be a good pick for Kingdom Come. We are going to see a Dorado pick coming out from Kingdom Come.
We don't usually see that.
Yeah, Dorado, kind of a niche pick, if you will. Not really one composition that rules them all here. Now, when I'm thinking about it, it seems everything can really work. Maybe a Ball Sigma comp that Overcharged have shown they like to play could work pretty well.
Yeah, and the Pharah is actually quite good too on Dorado. There's a lot of structures around the night sky or the skyline that you could really use to your advantage to peek in and out. But we also have to understand Reborn seems to be really, really good on the Ash. And Ash is a very good pick in Dorado. All those high ground and small lobbies, Ash is able to get a lot of value out of them, just chucking their dynamite, getting a lot of damage done. So I think this is a good pick, a very decent pick from both sides, and looks like we will be seeing a defense from the side of Overcharged. So interesting. I wonder if we'll see basically a ball Sigma composition with a Pharah on the defense. Maybe not, because Kingdom Come will probably expect it. But other than that, this should be an interesting map because it kind of favors both teams' playstyle.
Yeah, definitely playstyle being a big thing going forward. I think Overcharge can definitely be more aggressive, though. I like when they play proactively, not like stupid aggression, but when they start thinking forward instead of just being in the moment, being proactive instead of being reactive fits them a lot more. It seems like that's when they excel.
Yeah, definitely. And Kingdom Come, on the other hand, they're perfectly fine with playing reactive style. They like to be on that Zenyatta. They like to be on that, Hanzo. So they're okay with playing reactive. And Overcharge are perfectly. I think they should not play not to say should not play reactive, but a lot of the times where there's just they're pushing the cart or they're not really on the moment, like on the rush, they have to do something. They're not really shining a lot of the time. So it kind of balances both of the teams out. Kingdom Come are finally perfectly fine with playing reactive, and Overcharge are perfectly fine with playing aggressive, that, proactive play style that you were talking about. And just to remind everyone, this is a 1-1 score lineup for both teams, Overcharged and Kingdom Come. Currently, Kingdom Come is at 4th place seeding and Overcharged at a 5th place seeding. The only difference between these both teams is 1 win. That's it. Kingdom Come has only 1 win above Overcharged, and that's all that is. Even their map win-loss ratio and map difference is exactly the same. So this is a big map, the big match coming out for both teams. Again, this is a quarterfinal, so whoever loses will be going home. sadly. But other than that, I'm excited to see what goes on here. Dorado, a niche pick coming in. Like a lot could go in here. I've seen Dorado's drag out for like over 7 points, and I've seen Dorado get finished like in a clean sweep. So anything could happen at this point. Looks like we're just ready. We're just waiting for all the readies readies to come out from the players. Other than that, not really any changes coming out from the side of either Overcharged or Kingdom Come. I think this is the starting lineup is the locked lineup they will be playing.
Yeah, I don't think either team needs to switch it up. We do have readies coming up from both sides. It has been over the 5 minute, so we are at a time. We are going to start shortly. Dorado map pick is going to be it. I honestly don't know what we're going to see here. So, yeah.
I wonder how these teams will be doing. You know, if I'm going to explain this really quickly. The people who are playing right now, pretty much the only person who does not have a similar score lineup is Tokyo Drifters at this point. They are 7-0, I believe. And other than that, Epizuxis, Hangzhou Bark, and Kingdom Come had 4 wins, 3 losses, all 3 of the teams. And then you have Overcharged and Platched, both have 3 wins, 4 losses. So a lot of similarity showing throughout this advanced series, advanced tournament. So I'm excited to see. You know, I want to see some change. I want to see some things get moved around, some upsets come out. We've definitely seen some upsets over the past couple of days, both in the intern division and expert division. So I want to see some upsets come out in this lobby right here in this section of the League of Zero tournament to see things, you know, need to be changed up a little. And look at this, talking about things getting changed up. Blossom showing on that Mercy again, while Raging Cool is on that Pharah. I think I'm pretty sure they're going to change up. They're not going to stay in the. Yep, there you go. I didn't see a Mercy, so there was no point of them staying in that Pharah. But Blossom sticking with that Genji. They were really feeling it on that Genji, and they definitely made it work at the very end of Hollywood last map.
Yeah, he might struggle here though, especially against the Brig from the side of Kingdom Come. And who do you really target? Your Zen's your only real target, and he's probably gonna be glued to the Brig. Starting on this, good. Where this is okay. The dive comes in for both tanks. The Echo and Tracer all converging onto one. The ball kind of from Ant is kind of booping them out of there, and now. And Kingdom Come, is going to keep backing up. The Rock does miss. Ant pile drives in. As Raging Cool finds 2 deaths from above, but there is no Pharah in the lobby. Both supports down for Kingdom Come, and Overcharge is just going to roll over them.
It was a very fast and coordinated attack coming out from the side of Kingdom Come right there. I like what they did. They sent JCK on that Winston up in the high ground to do most of the damage and bait out the initial immortality field. Once the immortality field out, they focused that down, and Ant was able to just roll through everybody, just dislocate everyone while the cart was being pushed. So Raging Cool just flies over and beams down like you're talking about. Those stickies are so deadly. You could just stick them to the ground.
Oh no, Luxie gets knocked down. Ice does find Ant, and Luxie files as well. Both main tanks, if you will, are down. Pixel for Blossom, and even trade coming across, but Weaverborn's just behind you. Ice finds Raging Cool with a headshot. Ice just death from above. The Blossom, I'm sorry, the Reborn Tracer isn't enough to clutch him through, but the cart is going to continue to move for Overcharge. Excuse me. My throat does not feel like cooperating today. Reborn on the high ground with the Tracer is looking for something. Now all 6 back for Kingdom Come. Ant ready to pile drive down onto the dive to wood.
Yeah, look at this. Ant is ready, and all the mines coming on. Now Ice is kind of isolated while everyone is just stuck in this whole room. This is very messy.
Yeah, the Matrix coming out the trans in response, and now, but the Ant continues to roll through. Very ballsy move, but he is on Wrecking Ball, so it understands. As the Primal comes out, kills Luxie, picks a Raging, all finding picks, and Kingdom Come continuing to just roll over and die here. They have a lot of ultimates, but nothing's really working.
Well, 3 kills coming out from the side of Pixel Master, and I have to say that the DPS lineup for, I mean, not the DPS, the healer lineup from the side of Kingdom Come are quite flexible. We've seen Speedy Man
nice
played, and
pick.
oh my god.
A lot of
Blossom did not
ultimates
even get to do
invested
anything.
for Kingdom Come, but I don't know if it's going to really mean anything. The High Noon does find Ant, but they're already down to Zakator, evening out onto JCK to the duplicate coming out from the Sigma Ice, finding Reborn, but Raging Cool picking and finding 2. And it's going to be a continuing advantage for, oh my, Overcharge. Kingdom Come. I apologize. I've been announcing the teams backwards because they switched sides.
It happens, man. It happens. Everybody has a bad day,
Oh, no.
but definitely not Kingdom Come right now. They are not having a bad day. They're having a jolly time just rolling through Overcharge, doing so much damage. And look at this time bank. 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the time bank, and we have still not seen any answers from the side of Overcharge. They just don't know how to deal with this. Blossom has not been getting any value on that Reaper.
The huge pull. The Death Blossom comes out from Blossom. Blossom finds Speedy. Reborn kills Luxury, though. The Hog from Zankrator is coming out. Discorded Sev with another Amplification Matrix to see if it'll get anything done. The hook comes out onto RCK, but Sev is the one who dies. JCK getting so much healing in the back. Ice does find Ant on the side. Reborn picking Zankrator. Pixel Master on Ono. Potato. Pixel Master on the Zen, just popping off. The Bongo comes out. Reborn just in the background. But the Bongo falls slowly after Luxy does not have the HP to hold on as Ice's McQueen is getting pressured hard, has the High Noon, but falls before it's able to get through. Sev drops the Implication Matrix, but is not able to survive with it. Now it's just Zakto on the ball, stalling for time. Ono Potato is onto the Lucio, trying to stall. Not going to get anything done. Ice switches off the McQueen, but it's not going to matter. And Kingdom Come cap with 3.5 minutes.
That's a lot of time. 3.5 minutes. Even in Dorado, that's a disgusting amount of time. And I think what Overcharge are really lacking right now is the stubbornness. What they're really lacking in the flexibility. Actually, they're being so stubborn at this point, playing this double shield wall. Clearly, it's not working. It looks like JCK and have done their homework, and they are playing this weird enough Sigma / ball or ball / Winston composition, this semi-dive dive composition where you just go in for a little bit, bait cooldowns out, and just pull out so much, and it's just not enough. I think, like you talked about, Overcharge are not good at this reactive style. They're not good at all. They are just failing over and over, and looks like Kingdom Come are just too flexible. They like to play the reactive style. They like to play this proactive style. So they're just being so proactive, so aggressive that Overcharge just hasn't have any answers. So all I'm hoping for right now is Overcharge figure something out. Maybe not play this double shield again, because it's a very slow composition, and it gives your opponent a lot of time to think. And look at this, Ant and Reborn are camping this thing out, being up there. They could easily just slam down and get a lot of ult charge.
Yeah, I do like the double hit scan though to deal with Raging Cool. Raging and I guess to some extent Reborn have just been nuisances to this Overcharge this map. Now Ant is on this high ground, did get scattered, so they know they're up there. As Zakto just continues to spot check and slams down in. That's the call for the dive now. Everyone collapses onto the Immortality, falling down, but Overcharge is so low, getting kept alive by that break from Ono. Potato Sev trying to keep them alive. Ice taking so much damage. The other slam comes down from Ant. JCK half is falling extremely low. Zakator does die, and the man advantage does go for Kingdom Come as it swings back in the other direction. Speedy on the break does fall. Luxy finding 2 with the Orisa.
What?
The Orisa God Flash Fan comes out from Ice, and it's going to be Overcharge taking the fight. Reborn's
what just happened there? Luxy literally took out the backline by themselves. So that was interesting. You know, every time I see a flanking Orisa, I know this person. I know the streamer that does this Orisa flanking Orisa, all the time. But I can never remember that. But forget about that.
Blossom finds a headshot onto the flanking Tracer, and Overcharge is going to continue to roll through as the old charge bank of Overcharge has received a hefty donation from Kingdom Come.
That was a massive donation. It's very interesting because look at this. 3 ultimates coming out. They literally did not burn a single ultimate on that second recontest. So quite very interesting shield right there. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be able to go to the balcony, but it doesn't really matter. But now what we really want to look out for is Ant and
What is
Reborn.
Speedy doing?
I,
Speedy on the right
I
side.
don't know. I
I
don't
guess
know.
getting to the high ground. Very, very long pathing for it. Overcharge has taken a lot of time. The die is about to come out and slams down with the mines. It's kind of separating the team. Luxy and Zactor are on their lonesome. The bongo comes down, immediately dies. Zactor defiles with it. Pixel Master does fall to ice. That's a lot of damage lost for Overcharge. And now they're seeing solo healing with Speedy. Overcharge continuing to push through. 7 Blossom has the ultimates. Zakator pulling to that lift very quick. But Kingdom Come have a lot of ultimates to invest. The slam comes down. It's big Raging, finding nice sticky bombs as 7 ice fall immediate. Blossom on just JCK. The Raging Cool's duplicate is cancelled. Blossom Luxy falling as well. The Overcharge push will finally end. But
that's a lot of ground gained.
Yes, a lot of ground.
Yeah, a lot of ground gained. A lot of time, a lot of ground gain, but this is a very awkward position though. So if you are overcharged right now, you kind of like the card being in that position because guess what? Overcharged, they want this card right there, but this will be very hard position to go on because look at this. Kingdom Come will just literally them and just dive down with their cooldowns as soon as possible, and then there's just no real counter to begin with. And there you go. The dive comes out.
They pick up the trans, comes down, it finds 3. No one's able to die because of the trans healing, but having to invest the ultimate is big. The brig from Speedy wasn't there at the start of the fight, so they could have capitalized, but the ultimate did buy a lot of time. JCK has Primal and building up to the mine. Sev has that Amplification Matrix. They look to be just pushing down main. Now they have a lot of space to work with. The Matrix is looking to come out. The mine slams. It's huge. Sev and Potato Fall. That's the support line, and that's the back out for Overcharged.
Yeah, that's now Overcharge are getting a lot of their time from the time bank getting burnt out by Kingdom Come. They're just cycling these ultimates very nicely. Now, every time Ant ults, Jack holds off to their Primal Rage, and then JCK will be using that Primal Rage to help Ant build up the ultimate. And in the meantime, Raging Cool and Reborn are just doing whatever they want, just doing as much as damage possible in the backline, getting their ultimates ready. Raging Cool is definitely a person you want to keep an eye on because they are consistently focusing down Sev and Ono Potato, trying to blow them up with their stickies as soon as possible. This is a very interesting rotation coming out. They'll be literally swapping sides at this point. Overcharge on the side of defense and Kingdom Come on the side of offense. So this will be interesting to see.
The pushing through the inside, but I don't really like it because now they have to play this really close range style, and this is a long range composition. The slam comes out from Ant. Pulse Bomb is big, but the other side is bigger, and Kingdom Come is just finding a bunch of picks. This double shield is a long range composition, or if it is, we'll get into short range. You don't want to get into short range with this.
Definitely not melee range, because guess what? JCK just gets so much value if you get to their melee range without using a jump. They're able to just chase people down left and right, and not to mention Pixel Master is another person you have to be worried about. That Discord orb comes down to either Luxy or Zakatar, they will be getting popped very quickly. Now look at this, another attempt underneath the bridge, and they'll get slammed right away. Ant has another ultimate building up.
Ant slams and mines. RCK does have the primal. He's going to try and knock him into the mines, but they are able to kite it. And now, Ice is on his lonesome, got isolated. The JCK primal is able to get out, but now down to man. Overcharge lost a lot of the passion, but huge back and forth, but it's going to be Kingdom Come finding the better picks. It's just Blossom important. His Tracer isn't good enough to 1v6. 40 seconds left on the clock. A lot of ultimates for the side of Overcharge though.
Yeah, but I don't know if they will really get to touch there, because look at this. Oh, never mind. I was going to say JCK might have ultimate. Blossom may...
I like it to freeze this ball. They can really shut down the tanks with it.
But look at this, 10 seconds. 10 seconds building up. They are going to touch, and they have to get a lot of the ultimate. No! Not now, Sam.
Pixel probably just won the map with that single pick. The Flux comes out. The trans is there behind him. It finds Reborn. The touch has to come out, and it will be the May touching the Cryo. Now Luxy trying to find something. Oh no, Potato's dead. Luxy follows. No healers for the side of Overcharge, and no one else is going to be able to hold on. It's just Zagatar on cart. Sev not even able to use the Amplification Matrix. and it's going to be Kingdom Come pulling up in the series 2-1.
Wow, what a unfortunate push right there. Seth getting deleted by Pixel Masters even before the last fight starts. That's a lot of healing loss. That's the problem with running that break composition, because it just wasn't working out, because Ono Potato can't heal everybody. But while I talk to that, look at this. Pixel Master getting 3k, I believe, right here by himself. 3 finishing blows, helping their team. And they're just, the thing with this is, right, you're playing a double shield composition. Like you said, you have to be a long range composition, and guess what, Kingdom Come knows that. That's what they're getting away with this Zenyatta pick on Pixel Master, because who else will be diving them? If Blossom swaps over to Tracer or Genji, they'll just get shut down by this Winston or Brigitte. So there's just really no way of Overcharge to really counter this Zenyatta, who has long range damage, long range debuffs, and long range healing. Not to mention, they have a Transcendence ready for every time Zakitar has a Flux. So I think playing that, knowing that you're getting rolled over this by the Zenyatta composition, this weird mobile ball hog, or ball feet or ball Winston composition that has this deadly Zenyatta that's just constantly debuffing you and doing so much damage, and you can't really reach them. I think that's the point you want to really swap off from that long range composition, because it's just not working out. Every time the shield breaks, the Zenyatta will be able to land a Discord Orb, and that's pretty much a big debuff on one of your tanks who are the frontlanders. So I think Overcharge needs to be a little bit more flexible if they want to take this series home, because guess what? This is a quarterfinal series, so whoever loses here is going home. And currently, Kingdom Come are a point ahead, 2-1. So if Overcharge want to make this, take this to map 5, they have to try. They have to change something up right here. They cannot play this long range double shield composition anymore, because guess what? Kingdom Come did their homework and they know how to beat it.
Yeah, it's really hard to kind of know those adaptations that Overcharge need to make, but they definitely need to make something, because Kingdom Come definitely showed a more dominant map. Now we have 2CP coming back in. We don't know the map pick yet, but I think this could be the deciding map. I mean, Kingdom Come, match point for them. They really need a big win here.
Yeah, they do. This could be huge for them. And I think if Overcharge cannot make the disciplinary changes or the necessary changes, Kingdom Come will take this map no matter what. So we do have only 3 minutes left in the clock. So we will be getting quite close to, I think they're just getting ready. It's just Overcharge map pick right now. So they're just waiting it out, see what they could do. I believe, I think if you're Overcharged right now, you definitely want to go with a more so 2CP that you're familiar with. Well, I'm not really sure. What do you think will be a very good map pick for coming out here for Overcharged?
Well, they've showed Overcharge prefers the double shield. Whether it's more effective or not is left to be seen, but probably the more effective double shield that's actually in the pool would probably, I'd say, have to be Hanamura. But Hanamura does leave a lot of room for some Vine Sim May shenanigans, so who knows?
Definitely, that could be the case right here. We've seen hybrid, we've seen 2CP, we've seen escort. So now it all comes down to this last map. They still have about 2 minutes left. I think we're still waiting for the map pick right now. Interesting enough, not seeing anything on this team right here. I think I don't know if Overcharged Kingdom Come are really looking up to. I don't think they have a worry right now at this point. Kingdom Come are quite comfortable playing this Zenyatta ball composition. They have Pixel Master and Speedy Man, who both could play a really good Zenyatta. So they are quite comfortable right now. And looks like that's it, correct. We are getting Hanamura as a map pick from the side of Overcharge. So like you talked about, they will be going for this Hanamura more so. I think they'll just stay on this double shield. And just that I was saying that they probably have to change something up. Looks like they probably will not do this coming into the map of Hanamura. Double shield is pretty good, but the ball composition from Kingdom Come has been just so effective. And I believe we're just waiting for the side selection from the side of Kingdom Come right now. Remember, the losing team does pick the map, and the winning side does pick the side they will be either attacking or defending. But it looks like Kingdom Come will be going for the attack. Very interesting. They, like we talked about, they know that Overcharge are not really good at playing the reactive side of things. So Kingdom Come going on the attack first is a pretty good choice, in my opinion. You're playing that aggressive. If you play that aggressive, discombobulating ball Zenyatta with Winston composition, it could really work out. You could just throw off Overcharge completely and take over the first point.
Yeah, Hanamura is very roll over, especially if you get a lot of ult charge attacking that first one. I have seen some nice Rhine Zarya or Rhine Sigma Sim May TPs to the point against double shield, so that is an option for Kingdom Come, especially since they've favored a lot of Reinhardt compositions. Or they continue to put that ball Winston dive. It's been very effective so far. Ice is removed from the game, putting Ravioli in.
Yeah, looks like we will have a swap coming on. Maybe something different. I do not remember quite well what Ravioli's pool is, but I do know that they are a quite flexible DPS player. So maybe we will be seeing something different. So especially not the Pharah. We'll probably not see the Pharah anymore from Ice. And Ice has been doing a fantastic job of being consistent on that Pharah / McCree. So maybe we'll see something else coming out from the side of Ravioli. Maybe Blossom will like to stick on that Tracer while Ravioli plays that Symmetra. So that could definitely happen. Interestingly enough, now this is where things get a little complicated here, Mob. We're talking about how both teams should do something different, especially Overcharged here. But I'm trying to think of what else do Overcharged have up their sleeve. They have shown us that they could play double shield. They definitely want to play that. But then there wasn't really working on. And looks like they will stay on the double shield. May Blossom going over to the May and Ravioli on that Ashe. Very interesting pick coming out from the side of them. It's mostly just to slow down ball as much as possible.
Yeah, the only composition we know that's final is just defensive composition. Blossom Ravioli is going to be the DPS line going in. Blossom on the May definitely can wall off people at the choke. Very popular thing to do. I hope they play this split, and it looks like they will, with 3 people on high ground, 3 people on low ground. This is how you play double shield on Hanamura. And yep. I think this is actually what they're running on the attack. The Orisa, Ryan, and double shield.
That does look like it. A lot of Ryan coming out.
That's MTP the point.
Oh, that'll be very interesting because Ryan has a lot of brawl potential. So if you send a Ryan in there with Symmetra,
right. Top right, it goes to the right side. They weren't expecting it. Oh no, Potato gets almost quick drop. So low, able to continue to go through the May wall. Saves Potato's life. Immortality field is deployed, but now JCK in this close range is really hard to deal with. The tanks are being melted by the side of Kingdom Come. Reinhardt just swinging through. Luxie does eventually fall. Zakatori right behind it is Reborn on the Symmetra, just holds the left click and causes devastation.
Ooh,
Blossom on May.
4.
Yeah.
Is it a 5? A 5k. Oh, gets the 6k stolen by Raging Cool. But that was a very good play from the side of Reborn, getting a 5k. And look at their ultimate charge, 92%, while Pixel Master also has their window ready. And JCK building their shatter up to 92%. That's a lot of ultimates coming in. And guess
Oh,
what? Kingdom
oh,
Come.
Speedy. Speedy almost just fell off the map there. That would have been
Kingdom
an
Come.
immediate end to the pick, the point push. I say that as JCK is on point, ready for the shadow, is ready to lay down. The wall comes out, the bomb comes out for Ravioli. The shadow finds Blossom. Blossom so close to the blizzard, not able to get it. Luxy did find Raging Cool though. That's some DPS. JCK finding 2 in the back. No supports online for Overcharged. Ravioli and Zacto, the only people left. Zacto shooting through that amplification matrix, uses the flux to get immediately dies to Reborn Symmetra. Ravioli on the high ground, not able to get anything done. Blossom on the May is able to touch just in time, has the blizzard, is going to throw it down immediately after the slam comes out from Luxy. The charge kills Sev, the meteor strike is used. Ono Potato falls extremely low with the rally, does die. Speedy did die. Another shadow built up by JCK, the second one in this fight. And now Zactor is just there onto the Baby Diva trying to get something done. And Blossom is back onto the Tracer, but it's just all Kingdom Come, the Immortality Field, just a stall for more time, but there's so much time to stall. Potato is there on the Tracer, I mean the Lucio, Luxy is there, but it's not going to get off. And 4:43 is your time.
Wow. That's a very, very long time. And I'll be honest, Mob, I don't want to make any speculations, but from what I've been seeing from Overcharge, this is just a huge tank difference at this point. And JCK are not getting burnt down at all. The fact that JCK was able to get away with the Ryan for so long was amazing, because guess what? They are playing double shield. Kingdom Come did play double shield, but a whole different double shield right there. Keeping, and I personally, I like that double shield a lot, especially if you're going to run that Symmetra to go to the point and quickly as possible. Guess what? Ryan is one of the best brawling tanks in the entire game. So you put on Ryan there, Ryan could easily go in there, swing multiple people at once, land some fire strike, and even if he dies, they come back with a ult very fast. Now, if you look at this, Luxy and Zakita are still sticking to the exact same composition, and this is just not looking well from Overcharge at this point. They're, I don't think they're even ready for Raging Cool's Pharah and Pharah Pharmacy from the side of Kingdom Come. I think they'll do a great job. They'll create a little split right here. Pharah will play around the left side, the right side, while Ant and Pixel Master just play around the right side. So the Symmetra is not there from the side of Overcharge, so they'll get poked out a lot. Keep looking at Raging Cool's ultimate that they're building. It'll be very fast.
Yeah, this rotation is almost necessary with how much poke damage they have. They're going to rotate up top, and they have to move the point, but now Kingdom Come's ready for them, and they can see that the Blossom's Echo is in the back. This spam damage from Raging Cool is going to be very intense. The pull down comes out for Ravioli. Ravioli gets back up. JCK hits a rock. I wasn't even aiming at Ravioli. Ravioli accidentally coach gunned up into it. But hey, you'll take it if you're the defense.
Yeah, definitely. And look, more spams coming out. And look at this. They're all stuck in this small hut. And that's not where you want to be, especially against a pharmacy composition that just benefits off of small spaces. Raging Cool already at 83%. They will have their ultimate ready. Oh my god.
Blossom falls early. Ravioli follows. It's just a full reset. You gotta do it.
That's a reset right there. You might as well jump off the map.
The barrage is ready. They're just kind of wasting time here. This series could end in 2 minutes and 44 seconds if Overcharge doesn't pull something out. And Blossom Genji, it seems like the thing they're going to try.
I don't know how effective it will be against a pharmacy, but hey, it's desperation at this point for the side of Overcharge, and they're going back to their comfort pick. Ravioli swapping over to that McCree to deal with this pharmacy. I don't think they'll be able to do it alone. I think you almost necessarily lead double. Oh my god!
Ooh.
I didn't even get to finish my sentence, and Luxy's already dead.
And a huge barrage makes it 4 for Raging. And just another team wipe for the side of Kingdom Come.
That was devastating. That was very devastating to watch. Not to mention Seb also used the ultimate right there. They didn't even get to use it. All of it just gone. Reborn has their Bob ready, and look at the ultimates from the side of Kingdom Come, and will have their Bongo ready. JCK already has Flux on the way, so this is not looking good.
Flux finds one, but Sev dies in the air. The Immortality Field are able to keep them out, but just more time is bought. A minute 30 left on the clock, and the ultimate's not favoring them.
Definitely not. And the fights are ending so quickly that Overcharged don't even have the time to build any ultimates at this point. Blossom stuck at 70% at this point. Ravioli barely getting ultimate. The only thing we're looking forward to is Ono Potato's rally to maybe break this.
Raging Cool finds another entry pick, and it's just another. Blossom does kill one, but it's going to be res. If any of you are wondering about the other match, Hangzhou Bark is currently up 2-1, starting on Hanamura. And as that match heats up, this one seems to simmer down as Kingdom Come is kind of just all on the gas pedal here, and Overcharged are out of power.
They definitely are. Raging Cool has another barrage ready, so if Blossom does not deflect this or at least have something to deal with, this is not going to go well.
The blade comes out. It's just on the Sigma. The barrage finds one. It's even 1-1. The blade trying to keep it going. The res does come out. Now JCK is back in the fight, but Reborn is out of it. And Raging Cool falls super low. This could be it. Speedy's Valkyrie does die out. Blossom is on point. Luxie does die, but the Amplification Matrix is there. The Flux finds the both supports, and it slams them back down. Zactor, it's huge. Right as I said, they're out of power. They pull out some extra batteries from the bottom drawer, and it's going to be Raging Cool falling in Overcharged Roll Cap A.
That was a very, very last minute push that they somehow pulled out of their hat, and now they have 3 minutes to push this next objective. They have the momentum. They probably don't have the ultimates to deal with it. Luxie swaps back to this Orisa. There you go. For some reason I was thinking Symmetra, but this
Blossom.
Orisa position.
Oh
look at this Blossom. Another ultimate almost up there. So that was a pretty fast ultimate if you're considering Genji. Ravioli needs to land a good Deadeye to begin with, but I don't think it's a good idea going up the stairs.
Oh, not anymore. Not with that Amplification Matrix. Just kind of putting out a lot of push to Blossom. 90 to the blade. It is ready to come out. Basically, Speedy does fall. They could have isolated it, but they chose not to. And we're going to JCK finding Ravioli. Blossom going in. The Immortality Field's no longer there. The blade is ready. Zakator finds Pixel Master. This is the winnable fight that they need. The blade comes out, goes into the backline, finds Reborn. The Flux slams them back down. Sev is down. The big 1v1 happens in the backline. Meanwhile, Blossom kills Ant with the blade. Now JCK is there. The 1v1 is lost by Ono Potato. Luxie does fall to the Junkrat, and it's going to be Kingdom Come pulling. That seemed like it was all the gas they had left in them. It was a winnable fight for Overcharged.
Yeah, they definitely had the setup ready. I think Blossom had a very good blade right there. Just the follow-up was not really there. Everybody getting caught on that Sigma Flux really cost them the entire fight. JCK swapping off of that Sigma, going to that Winston to deal with the pesky Genji that Blossom was pulling out, but Blossom will be making a swap over to Echo. Now, again, they're going up the same stairwell. I still don't think this is a good idea because Raging Cool just gets so much value throwing little mines in there. And look at this, the Riptide comes out. They'll just blow him up. Yeah, the Riptide is going around the backside, and it finds both the ports. That's just the back out. And now it's final push time. They have Ravioli's High Noon, Zakator's Flux. Luxie's going to get the Bongo, Ono Potato's Rally against no real ultimates on the side of Kingdom Come other than both supports that they can probably build. And this is the best chance probably Overcharge has to taking this fight, and I don't think they should go up the same way again. They need to go either rotate through the bottom. They have to do this with time left. Oh no, this is not going to be good. They're going to get poked out before they could even do anything, really, unless Ravioli goes on the other side and gets the High Noon ready. The Flux, it's huge. -4, they need a stepping point now. Ravioli gets huge. They need to go on point. 12 seconds left on the clock. That's going to be everyone falling for Kingdom Come. Can they cap in time? 7, 6, 5. They are going to get it. 4, 3, 2. No, the stop. Oh no!
They did it!
Oh, no way.
0.0 seconds left. They did it! Are you kidding me? Overcharged, still in the series. They did it with less than 1 second left.
Oh my God, that looked like it was an overtime, but it was not. That was so close. That is insane.
For words. Wow.
That is insane.
Overcharged, not out of the series just yet.
Definitely not out of the series, but they have a steep climb ahead of them. They have only a minute. Only a minute to make this attack worth everything. And then on top of that, defend for 5 minutes, not even 5, 6 minutes straight. So this is a very, very steep climb for Overcharged, but they definitely pulled out some miracle twice in a row on that both points. So I think if any team could do it, it is Overcharged right now. They could definitely bring this back, probably with a huge miracle.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot. I think if they can somehow steamroll both points here, it could put them in a pretty good position to even out the time banks. But I think if they get full held here, it's very hard.
It definitely will be, but look at this. Raging Cool is running that signature Pharah picking in. That did so well against them, and I'm liking the swap coming out from Luxy, playing that ball composition instead of the slow Orisa.
Both supports. Both supports are so low that Pharah is just getting so much work done. The ball is ready to boop some people off. Reborn does scout it out and flashes fans. And now Luxy's in a pretty bad position, gets body blocked out. 7 Luxy both fall.
They have to reset. They have to reset right now.
Zaktar has to get out. This is final fight right here. Potato solo. Sev going on to the Lucio. I would honestly want to see Luxy switch onto a Reinhardt and just rush point.
Yeah, the changes need to happen, and the Discord orb needs to land on Raging Cool. This is not a time.
What a rock. And the dive does come out. Zakto just find Reborn. That's a really big pick. What someone's going to have to touch. Blossom is going to be that person. As Ravioli does fall. The res is coming out, and it gets cancelled and finds Luxy, but Zakto claps back on the Speedy. Pixel Master the only healer for the side of Kingdom Come. Are they really doing this? Pixel Master getting pressured out and does fall. No heals. It's just
no way.
They do it. They are going to do it. They need to not step off. Reborn is coming back on the Tracer. Oh no, Potato does fall. It could go either way. It takes a miracle play from Reborn. Reborn going around side. Blossom with a double melee kill onto both tanks. The Pharah from Raging doesn't have that barrage up. Finds Ravioli, but it's not going to be it. And A is going to be captured by Overcharge.
Wow, that is ridiculous. Now they have 30 seconds left to make this miracle happen again. That opening pick was so nice. Now Zakatar and Blossom both have their ultimates ready. If they could get this done before Raging Cool has the time to set up for a barrage, this will be huge. But I think that's very unlikely. Raging Cool is just waiting to get in there and just pop his ultimate as soon as possible.
Yeah, they can flux the beta immortality, then hit a big pulse bomb. The barrage does come out and finds two into the back. The high noon. Oh
my God!
Are you kidding me? Are they really doing this? It's even Ravioli Blossom trading out Zakatar on the point. It's just the Torbjorn, and there's no more Torbjorn left to be found. Reborn is coming back onto the Tracer. One ticket's getting over. Raging Cool is back. The
Ravioli, you have to hit it.
The JCK Breaking Ball is back, and that's going to stall enough time for all the respawns, and it is going to be an end. Maybe Raging Cool does end up falling. The ball comes back for Luxy. Luxy finds Speedy. Zakatar getting really low in the back. Oh no, Potato falls. No supports online for Overcharge. It's Blossom's Miracle Trace, so it has to come out right here, right now. The Mines comes out. It has to be huge. Blossom does fall. Luxy's the only one left. And this is going to be the end of their Miracle push, but this is no progress to scoff at.
Oh, Ravioli so close to touching it, but again, this is a very good run. You only had 1 minute, and they managed to take first point and take I believe, 1 tick for the second point. So now this means 56%. Yeah, that was 1 tick and almost the second one. Now, if you are Overcharged, you're very happy with this because guess what? The fact that you secured the first point at least gives you a breathing room. The fact that, okay, you could set up something crazy here and hold off.
Fashion. Please. Fashion. I know they play it. I know they can do it. Pull it out. They were going to run the Torbjorn. I think you have to run a Bastion because you know they're going to run that Ryan Orisa style that they did on the attack. And the Torbjorn McCree's not enough pressure. I think they need the Brig is not the choice, or if they Orisa Monkey. But Brig, I think they have to go all in with a potato on the Zen. They're not going to do it, but they need the extra damage and the ability to use Transcendence as a defensive ultimate is huge. But they actually opt for the Brig. I guess more utility outside of ultimates.
Yeah, I would also like to see maybe even a Mercy would be very nice right here, because not saying necessarily pairing with a McCree or the Blossoms.
Are they really doing it?
I don't know.
They're not. They're not.
Okay, so they will be going for this very poke heavy, dive heavy composition. And on that ball, JCK on that, double dive.
Slam in. Oh. The pull comes back, and instead of it's falling extremely low, almost forces immortality. JCK is the first one to fall. Blossom getting a huge pick. The res is going to come out, but having to burn that res really early is not good. Now this is where the double shield thrives. Reggie Cool dead. There's no res available. That's a lot of the damage gone, and this is looking good. Reborn on the side, getting poked out by the Brig. The Halt not able to get through. Ant gets shield bash and flashbang. It's the life of a tank player. Ant falling super low, but has the mercy. Speedy it's super low, dies to the Ravioli on the side. JCK in the back. Torbjorn a little bit isolated from Blossom, but both tanks just running en masse and getting not anything done. Now that's 1 minute down, 5 to go. Raging Cool switch over to the Reaper.
Yeah, this is where things get heated a little bit. JCK going over to that Reinhardt again. Reinhardt Orisa, because they realize, look at this, Ravioli and Blossom are not enough damage to break down both shields like that. And this is what they will do. Reborn will be going to that Symmetra. They just want to get straight to the point. They have a lot of brawling power. You have Reinhardt, you have Orisa, and you have...
comes out to right side, the High Noon kind of zones them off, but they're not able to just stalls the push. And now that there is no more pressure to be put on, the real power is about to come through this Reinhardt composition. Immortality is forced and fell super low. No immortality for side this Blossom. Blossom needs to drop this Molten Core now, and it does so much damage. And the JCK just gets melted. The flashbang was huge, and now the Flux is also come out. A little bit too much investment, but it's probably worth it as this huge Flux kills so many. Ravioli finding Raging Cool as Speedy on the point. Now down to 4 minutes. 2 minutes off the time bank. They're 33% of the way done.
Yes, they're indeed, and they're getting closer and closer to that 50% marker. Look at that, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That's pretty much 50% of the time being burned. JCK, however, has that Earth Shatter, so you have to keep an eye out for that. And Pixel Master, don't count them out. If that window gets dropped and Raging Cool gets a lot of shots in, they will burn targets down. Again, they tried that right formation, playing
Bongo that window. They could use it. The Shadow doesn't find anything. It's blocked. The Bongo comes out too, but Luxy finds Ant, but Overcharge is falling apart, and it's going to be Kingdom Come tapping, and now they're going to be approaching B with 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the time bank.
That's still a lot of time, Mob, and they have to take one tick, but that's a crazy amount of time, unless Ravioli lands a beautiful Deadeye right here.
Noon. They're going to push point with a sim, and if Ravioli doesn't give up high ground, he can hit a big High Noon, or at least force them away.
That definitely could happen right here. They need about a tick and almost a second tick right here, getting close to it, about 56%. So this could definitely be useful. Reborn is looking for a interesting, they're going high ground here. Yeah, they want to...
Yeah, they can't let Ravioli.
Yeah, no, they want to force Ravioli out as much as possible here. But look at this. Reborn has the ultimate ready. That shield could be immense.
Oh, no, Zakator. Zakator is getting pressured around. The High Noon does come out. The Immortality is forced, and now they're kind of stuck in this area. They can get a lot of poke damage onto them. The High Noon does expire. Zakator can hit a huge flux there. They need to hit it now. And they do. It's huge. It finds almost all the members, and it slams back down. Not a lot of damage. I mean, a lot of damage, but not a lot of kills coming out. Reborn is dead. That's a lot of the damage gone. But the charge finds Blossom. How did he not dodge that? Ant has the Bongo ready. Ravioli and Sev getting pressured out, and the Blossom, it might just seal the deal for the series right here, right now. A JCK does fall to the Ono Potatoes Brig. Bluxy is the only one left. Zakator comes back. Blossom comes back. The duplicate is ready. Turns into the Reaper. It needs a miracle. The dupe fist coming back from Ravioli. The duplication is
Oh, that's a
canceled.
lot of
Ravioli,
time burn.
the beat doesn't, it comes out, so it's so hard to find these picks. Sev does not have that immortality back up. Oh no, Potato back onto the brig. The Reinhardt joins back. Luxy on the ball, trying to stall anything. Zakator not able to too much, and it's just going to be it. The series did end up going out with a bang. No whimpers found from Overcharge, but Kingdom Come are going to take your quarterfinals 3-1.
That was a very, very hard fought victory for both for Kingdom Come, and also a valiant effort from the side of Overcharged. Ravioli looks like they will be getting this nice little play of the game. I believe this is the 2K right here, right after killing. Denies the mercy. Yeah, that was really nice.
Oh, 4K.
Gets that crucial kill on that Pharah and then just denies the res by high nooning. And again, the changes we talked about came out from Overcharge, but super late. We needed to see these compositional changes, these, little changes come out for Overwatch earlier in this series, not this late in when you're literally at your last stance pushed against the wall, and that's all you have to do. So I think if they reacted and adapted much earlier to the series, they could have won it and even maybe take it to map 5, potentially win the series. So unfortunately, Overcharged will be kicked out of this tournament at this point. This is a knockout series since it is a quarterfinals, and Kingdom Come, welcome to them. They will be moving up to the semifinals for now. And I think we have to, as we know, Mob, we have to bring somebody in for the interview. And I'm just thinking one person. I mean, I have so many people in my head. I just can't pick one person right here. I want to bring in and for that clutch at first map. I want to bring in Speedy Man for all the Zenyatta they were playing, and even Raging Cool was popping out. So I think I'm going to leave that hard decision on you, Mob. Who do you think we should bring in?
A lot of players popped off. I don't think it was a single player from Kingdom Come that was really the hard carry. I think Kingdom Come definitely being a well-oiled machine across all roles, really. Ant, JCK, Radiant, Cool, Reborn, Pixel, Speedy, all popping off in their own respects throughout the series. A very, very hard-fought victory. And it just really inspires me for what's to come from this team, especially since the hard opponents that they're going to be coming against in the future of the brackets. And we are I'm still thinking about a division. No, sorry, don't. No. And we're going to have JCK. JCK is going to be the one coming in for an interview, and I'm excited. This man, he played an incredible Reinhardt at the last end of the map. Played a very competent Winston, and we're just waiting on JCK. Excuse me, to get in here.
I was going to say for a second. Maybe Zakatar could come with him, but nah, no. It's all good. We only get winners out here. I'm sorry, Overcharged. So, had to happen.
JCK, welcome, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What a match. What very hard fought victory.
Yeah, we had our moments, I think. We sort of we stalled a lot of points. We made a lot of mistakes on the first map and the second map, but I think we got it together towards the last one. So,
I know it was a very intense series with the amount of clutches both teams pulled out. How did it feel to take down Overcharge for the second time this season?
Well, I mean, it's expected, isn't it? I mean, with the lineup we've got, Pixel was on some crack today. I don't know what he's been doing, but Pixel just had the game of his life today. He played so well. But yeah, I mean, we were quite confident coming into the game, and I think losing second sort of stopped that confidence a little bit. But we knew we were going to take first map, but I think second we sort of lost our momentum a bit. And then we just sort of got it back together the last two, so it was all right.
Yeah. Aside, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I did. Again, congrats on winning this quarterfinals. You guys are definitely going to semifinals right now. A lot of exciting matches to look forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to them. I want to cast some of that stuff. But other than that, you guys looked quite confident and quite flexible when it came to playing different composition. You guys weren't scared to run any, hard meta stuff and not, deviate from it. You guys were perfectly fine just, deviating from all these compositions that gets talked about, and played some really crazy stuff. We've seen you on Reinhardt a couple of times. So, I really want to ask, what was going on? Like, whose call was it? And, how do you think the main fault for Overcharge was their, stubbornness, or just sticking to that double shield?
Yeah, 100%. I think they had a massive lack of flexibility on Dorado. They ran their head into a wall for 3 or 4 minutes when they were playing the double shield. They seem to be only playing the double shield, occasionally swapping the Orisa to a ball, but I think they are a bit stubborn with the comps that they play, and we just have the better flexibility. I think we played a bit of everything today, but I think it's very map dependent on what we run. But these guys seem to play double shield all the time, so we sort of just adapted to that. And a lot of it's mainly scrim started, so we make these comps during the scrims and then move them over to the games. It's not really like in the moment we make it. We sort of have plans for what happens when. So a lot of it is planned, but some of it is in the moment. But yeah, we just had the better comps, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty much the name of the game. Actually, Overwatch was created for, a lot of change and on the fly, and you have to be kind of flexible to really play around and just adapt to different teams. So again, really good stuff coming out. I'm really excited. One more question I'm going to ask before I pass it over to Mob for the final question. But the last one I want to ask is Tokyo Drifters, man. They have been looking unstoppable, and it's funny because right at week 8. Epizeuxis actually got dominated by Overcharged. So now that you guys beat Overcharged, are you like confident you could take Epizeuxis and Tokyo Drifter in the future matches?
Yeah, I have confidence. I think we're definitely going to put on a show. I think we've been sort of nailing down on scrims a bit, trying to get all our comps together. But I think it's just sort of ironing out those small mistakes, and we'll be definitely a good contender for the finals, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to have that confidence going in. You don't want to have a loser's mentality. Every team and player should believe that they can win. And now, since you were playing, you probably don't know, but currently Hangzhou Bark versus Platchat, it just went to 2-2, with Platchat winning Hanamura. So they're going to a map 5. And then between the winner of that and you guys, Tokyo Drifters will make their pick, and whichever team not picked goes against Epizeuxis. So, would you rather be picked by Tokyo Drifters or left for Epizeuxis?
I don't think Tokyo will pick us, but in terms of what I would want, I think we would take Epizeuxis first, and then we'd win and then we'll win them, and then we'll win against Tokyo Drifters. But I think Tokyo are definitely I think the best team in the league at the moment, if not ourselves, because they just, as you said, they just look unstoppable in these games. But I think if we nail down our scrims and stuff, then we'll have it, I think.
Yeah, well, thank you for the interview, and finally, congratulations on the victory and moving on to the semifinals. That is all for Kingdom Come versus Overcharged, the quarterfinals. And now we're going to be moving on to Hangzhou Bark versus Platchat Map 5. Go watch that. It's very interesting. And then we'll see you all next time.
Peace.